Today I am downtown Chattanooga, just across the street here from the University of Tennessee of Chattanooga, and I am at Chattanooga's oldest cemetery. It started off being called Citizen Cemetery and was founded in 1838, if I recall, when a husband and wife lost their 2-year-old child, and they bought some land in order to begin a cemetery to bury their child. Later, during the Civil War, this expanded to become the Confederate Cemetery. There are a number of marked graves. I'm sitting in the middle of the Confederate Cemetery site. There are a number of marked graves, but there are also, where I am right now, are just mass graves with signs around telling all of the names of the people that are buried here, but there are no individual markers for them. I want to say, I'll have to go back and do some checking, but I want to say the Confederate Cemetery was started as a place to bury the dead from the Battle of Chattanooga. But it is a massive, massive place. And I don't know that it's being used any longer, but again, that's something that I will have to check, because I do see occasionally some flowers on some tombstones, and I don't know when they were buried here. Let's go take a look around. And just across the wall here, where you see this mausoleum, this is the Mizpah Cemetery right next door, and it was Chattanooga's first all-Jewish cemetery. If we have time, we'll take a walk through there as well. If not, we'll come back on another day. Now, I'll be honest, it's been probably 20 or 25 years since I've been here. I've only been here once before. And I don't remember if that very first grave is still marked or if it's disappeared. That's kind of what I'm looking for at the moment. I'm not having any luck. I was hoping there might be a plaque or something to commemorate the beginning of this cemetery. The Citizen Cemetery sits in the middle, and the Confederate Cemetery sort of engulfed it. But there's nothing, and most of the tombstones, like this one, that are really old, you just can't read them anymore. Well, I found it. So I know that the name of the family is Montgomery, but I didn't know the name of the child. And as I was wandering around, I began to think, you know, if I was just starting out, I would probably bury my child near a tree. This is the grave of Lucius Montgomery, 1835 to 1837, which is when the cemetery began. It was purchased in 1838 as a citizen cemetery, but this plot was here in 1837. And below it is what I'm assuming is a brother, Lemuel Montgomery, born in 1844, died in 1845. There are a lot of people in this cemetery buried here because of scarlet fever, and it's possible that these children died from scarlet fever, but I don't know that. But this is pretty much right in the middle of this cemetery, with the vast majority of Confederate graves over here to my right, and then other graves over here to my left. I still don't know what it is about cemeteries that attract me, but the history of the place and the history of the people is always important to me. As I mentioned before, I don't know what it is about cemeteries that have me going back. I have several more in Chattanooga that I want to go see and walk around and those kinds of things. This one it's so spread out and the graves are so far apart and there's so much empty space that you have to walk a lot. But it does have some great historical significance, being sort of a mass grave site for the Confederate soldiers. There was a hospital not far from there, and a lot of those soldiers died at that hospital. And so that's why they put the cemetery here close to where the hospital was. But before that, to have been started with the burial of a 2-year-old child, and then later to have, I think it was a military guy, I don't remember his name, in 1838 to actually buy the property then to start an official cemetery there. It's quite the story. And I can't wait to go, and I won't do it tomorrow because I don't want 2 cemeteries in a row, but I can't wait to go to the Jewish cemetery next to that because I just think that would also be really fascinating to see. This one, I thought that I would show you just a little bit behind the scenes here. So you saw these 2 little clips right here that I put in walking out of the pavilion. This is the clip in its entirety. This is what I deal with when I'm editing. So there is a lot of editing to be done, and you get videos that are, video clips that are this long, and you just want this much of it. And I think I had, I don't know, probably 30 or 40 different clips in this video. Could have been more. I haven't counted them. A couple of them didn't work, and I didn't use them. But you can kind of see the effort that goes in. So like with that pavilion, as I was walking up to get to where I sat down to talk the first time, you can count the number of cuts in there. That's the number of times I had to walk that same area in order to get the final look that I wanted. Close-up camera, far away camera, really wide shot, more of a narrow shot. And it all flows together to make the video tell the story without having to actually say anything in the process. So anyway, you can let me know what you think in the comments, either about the cemetery itself or about the way the video was put together. Again, this is one of those examples where there was no microphone. I knew going into it that I wanted to just walk up to the camera each time to talk or to have the camera near me. I thought I might run it through Podcast Enhance, but I decided not to do that. The background noise is a little loud, but it's not overpowering, so I left all of that. So anyway, let me know in the comments, and we will see you again tomorrow.